Today, on the W2 report, we take another deep dive into Earth 2. All of that in their search for moderators and stuff like that. All of that in less than 60 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the W2 report for this week, or rather this month. I am your host, Sanji Himura. Welcome to the show, everybody. Today, we take a look at the meme of the show while Lord Cracker Squirrel, per usual, reads our ground rules.
Rule number 1, beat up the dick. Rule number 2, if in doubt, refer to rule number 1.
All right, and as always, we are joined by our third man in the ring, Mr. Thomas.
You know, I feel better than Ethan Ralph's Twitter account right now.
Oh, that is a damn shame because well, actually, no, it ain't a shame. It's actually pretty good.
It is pretty good.
So, welcome to our Earth 2 Quarterly. As you can tell by the special background that we have here today, we are going to discuss Earth 2 and all of the bull BS that we've gotten in the last 3 months or so since we last covered it. Well, anyway, we start today with a quest for moderators. And as anyone can tell you, in order to have a good community, you have to have good moderators. Earth 2, not so much. As we are about to find out right now. And we read a post by KDiz that's saying that applications to join our moderators team for this server are now open. If you fit all the listed criteria below, you are keen to play a bigger role in this amazing community, then we invite you to aptly apply. Note that with the recent introduction of our international channels, being able to moderate in a second language in addition to English is advantageous. Here's their criteria. You have to be 18 plus. You have to have prior Discord moderation experience. You have to be a regular Discord user and an active member of E2 Official. Note, your activity in the server will be reviewed as part of the application process. Have a working microphone for the occasional voice chat communications.
Ooh.
Have two-factor authentication enabled for your Discord account.
Which would be required anyway, generally.
Have developer mode enabled for your Discord account.
Not a good idea.
Be familiar with the relevant Earth 2 social media platform rules.
Uh-huh.
And be familiar with Earth 2 product offerings. You don't have to be an expert by any means, but you have to at least be comfortable with knowing what the project is about and its features. And you have to speak fluent English. The application's closed on the 5th of February at 11:59 p.m. And they will review the short They will review the submissions over the course of the couple of weeks and reach out to the shortlisted. Now, can you identify what the two main problems with this are? Squirrel? Okay, Mr. Thomas?
Well, the obvious
never
one
mind.
that popped up. Well, obvious one that popped out to me is that it's involving Earth 2.
Well, yes, of course. But when you're dealing with, I don't want to. When you're dealing with alleged intelligence that is that low, I don't want to get. Actually, I didn't want to get caught doing the same thing that Sam Cashman recently did.
Well, see,
But
here is the flippy side. Being familiar with the products means towing Shane's line there and not having any doubts or other similar considerations about the nature of the animal, which would let you and me and a few other people out.
I'll take it a step further. I almost think that they're trying to get these moderators in there to also double the salespeople.
Well, that would be too.
Yep. Earth 2 is starting to sound more and more like a pyramid scheme.
Because it is.
And what do you always need for a pyramid scheme? Suckers.
More people. Yeah, more suckers. Alex, come here. But Shane is depending on new blood to keep the people up above paid, if he bothers to pay them. And for what I'm hearing, they're still having problems getting cashed out.
well, I think what we have here is a bigger problem. They have to have developer mode enabled for their Discord account. Now, anybody who's used Discord like we do knows that if you have developer mode enabled for your Discord account, that's a huge security risk, potentially.
Unless you need it, you don't do that.
Right.
That's almost like granting yourself root access on a Linux box. Seriously. Or excuse me. That would not granting yourself root access, but logging in as root and staying there. You don't do that unless you have to.
So basically, literally taking root.
Yep.
No, I have actually had to run machines on root as root in the past, but I tend not to do that if I don't have to, because the wrong move and you can fuck your machine 9 ways from Sunday.
Yep. Now,
developer mode is for those people who want to do that actually want to develop for Discord. Also note that developer mode can also be used, if one knows how, to seize a Discord account from the outside. Mm-hmm. Here, you need developer mode on so you can install this script right here. Everybody has to install this script. There's the back door, and all of a sudden you don't have access to any of your shit anymore because you pissed off the Shane, which is incredibly easy to do, apparently.
Yeah, just ask Nathaniel Dolderson or Wolfgang Walk or whoever in the hell has been their lead developer for quite some time.
I thought they still had that fraud kid on staff.
Oh, you mean Barry Benson?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Well, he kindly fucked right off.
Well, that would be good.
And
'Cause I know
he fucked right off. And he fucked right off quite some time, apparently.
I know is if I remember right, Benson is the one that releases a game, one game on a year on the average that is just so garbage that Jim Sterling winds up having to feature him every year in his bottom 10.
Well, nope, that ain't him. Various Benson released a prison RPG, well, police simulator. I don't recall what it was called, but Big Fry, Sid Alpha, Psy Syndicate, all of them covered him, and he DMCA'd. Yeah, and he DMCA'd Psy Syndicate.
Oh, buddy.
Probably because Psy Syndicate had the worst things to say about it. I'm getting
Right.
I'm getting complaints because I'm being too milquetoast over games. So yeah.
Something else I just thought of regarding the security aspect of it is if Earth 2 is as scummy as it sounds, having that level of access to your Discord can also be dangerous and be abused in a way that it will keep you in line. Because
yes,
if you
either toe the line or you lose it all,
or even
including Discord
worse,
servers you might have,
or even worse, they find out if you're doing some sick shit. They'll find out what you're doing on Discord, and they will use it as blackmail.
That too.
Yeah, there's knowing what I know about Earth 2 and what they've been doing. I'm getting more red flags than a Chinese parade.
Of course.
Military parade.
Yep. And of course, an hour later, I'm hungry again. But that's. But the point is that this is just coming off as. I've seen better launches of that. The Titanic had a pretty good launch too, and look where that turned up.
Oh yeah.
This is turning into just something that even people who've invested a good amount of time, money, effort, etc., into it, even they have to be shaking their heads saying, okay, where's my nearest exit?
Oh.
The correct answer is you ain't got one.
All right. Our next story today involving Earth 2 involves that map.
Oh.
Because I'm just that good.
Now, what we're looking at here is the Mercator projection versus the true size of the countries involved. As you can tell, none of them ain't matching. With the possible exception of Brazil and a huge swath of Southern Africa.
Brazil and Southern Africa should be about right. Most of, or at least a large part of it. Central Africa, from the north-south, that's going to be pretty accurate. But that's about as good as you get. From there, the only way to really determine anything from a Mercator map is if you're traveling north and south. And even that's going to be even that's going to be a problem.
And do you know where Shane screwed up involving his map? I know we talked about this previously, but to add insult to injury, here is I don't know if you can see it clearly on the screen, but here is the U.S.-Canadian border. The blue line represents the border between the two countries. Now, if I clicked anywhere up here in Kazakhstan, I get Kazakhstan tiles. But what would happen if I clicked, oh, I don't know, right here?
That says United States.
No, that actually says Manitoba. That is the United States. Yeah, Manitoba, Canada.
Kazakhstan. There you go.
Yep. Now, if I were to clear this selection and move, oh, I don't know, 3 tiles down.
Try 4. Yeah, let's go click there. Now you're looking at North Dakota.
Right.
That is where you're supposed to be.
That is where I'm supposed to be. Now,
just do the clicky draggy thing from right there. That would have been fine.
All right. I'd have to click it again. Now, what would happen if I actually crossed the border?
You might get looked at funny by some moose.
Probably.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
Well, aside from that. Well, aside from that, what if I dragged this, oh, I don't know, up here and kept on going?
Keep going. One more.
Oh, I'm far enough north. But to humor you, there you go.
It doesn't matter how far. It doesn't seem to matter how far up you're going. It's all going to get marked United States, and the land values are very different between A and B. But you'll be charged for the higher one,
right?
Regardless of which it is.
Right. Now, what would happen if I clicked up here in Kazakhstan and went down? As you can see, the price is certainly lower. Now, here's the real test. And I'm sorry for springing it on my panel the last minute, but here we go. Right here. What would happen if, oh, I don't know. Grid.
You're going to want to go north.
Yeah, I'm going north. North.
Let's zoom out a little bit and get closer.
There's the border. Here we go.
You want the 3-way.
Now, as you can see, there's some properties bought in Saudi Arabia. They are clearly in Saudi Arabia. Can you guess which country? Oh, I don't know. This tile in particular, this Italian-looking flag right here, belongs to. Given the discrepancy between U.S. and Canada.
Mexico?
No.
Well, no. Try. Drum roll, please. Oman.
Oman, by the way, is just east of here.
Yeah. This is Oman. This is UAE. This is Saudi Arabia. Now, what about this tile right here?
Click.
Drum roll, please. We have Dubai. Now, let's choose something that's clearly in Saudi Arabia. What about these tiles right here that's represented by Kazakhstani flag? Dubai, Saudi Arabia, or Oman? We have UAE. Now, these tiles. Oh, no. Okay. Now you can clearly see what's how Shane skewed the map, if he did at all. Because this is this right here. Nope. Should have been there. Maybe right over here. Nope. All of this is considered Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi's a way out there. It's a considerable distance in the other direction, I believe.
Yeah. And look how far.
Ignorance.
And look how far from Saudi Arabia it is. Now I can't. Yeah, go ahead.
What you want one? Try Liechtenstein.
Okay. All right.
Because Liechtenstein is a little bitty country about the size of a fucking postage stamp.
It's spelled Liechten. It's spitting me out in New Zealand.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, it's spitting me out all the way to
Liechtenstein.
Okay, I apologize. It's Liecht.
And for those of you playing along at home, Liechtenstein in German means Liechtensteins.
All right. We are here in Liechtenstein. What am I going? Oh, let's see here. Okay, we have some Liechtenstein tiles being sold.
It is. It's an absolutely tiny principality in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's 25 kilometers long and hangs out between Austria and Switzerland.
Okay, I got it. Now, let's go to the border because I know that's where you want to go. Let's go 4 tiles. Okay, this is Liechtenstein. A little bit closer. Another Liechtenstein tile. One out there. Oh, we have Austria. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Zoom out a bit. Make sure I got the right country. Yes, I think so. Tile. Yep, that's Austria. Now, granted, if we did something like this, yep, the border's owned by Austria. But here is Liechtenstein. Now, here's a fun one for you. Each of these doesn't use Mapbox to identify as quad keys. They use their own internal system to ID tiles.
Yep.
Now, I can reasonably get an ID for these tiles using Earth 2 system. Now, what would happen? What would happen if? Give me a second here. All right, we're good. All right.
Hold on, we've got some loud over here. You carry on. I'm going to correct the child.
Now, what would happen? What would happen if we went to? Oh, I don't know. Let's say the Arizona Mexico border.
Let's see. Carrie Lake might still be demanding a recount.
Oh yeah. And let's go here for now. Right on the edge of International Road. Now, if I click on, oh, I don't know, this tile right here, we got Hereford, United States. And one tile down from the border, we have Hereford, Arizona, Mexico. And you might be thinking, that doesn't make any kind of sense. You're right, it doesn't. Now, if I were to go, oh, I don't know, 2 tiles down, oh, we got Hereford, Hereford, Arizona, Mexico. Now, let's go 4 tiles down from the border. Naco, Arizona, Mexico. Oh, I don't know, right there. We have Sonora, Mexico. Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute, Sanji. I'm beginning to think this map might be screwed up.
Oh, of course it is.
Why, if I had money to invest in Earth 2, I would reconsider.
Of course I would. And we have somebody playing around in the chat. Of course.
Of course.
Now, with all of that said, if there was an attempt, well, let's make things clear. An attempt was made to identify countries with tiles, but the way that Shane Isaac did it is so convoluted that you could basically put a square anywhere on the map and you would get a lower price if you picked the right country.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, there is a bit of a problem with the map in and of itself that anybody who remembers even third grade social studies would be able to pick out, or at least third grade social studies from my era.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the problem is you're trying to create a map, a flat map for something that is 3-dimensional. So naturally, some things are going to get skewed, like, say, Alaska. Yeah, Alaska on a flat map of the entire world looks huge.
Right.
And if you're using that as a basis to sell property, so you could use grids, you're going to wind up with
problems like this.
you're going to wind up with something that doesn't exactly fit real life. Now, granted, Earth 2 is supposed to be a replica of Earth, but even then, you're dealing with
flight.
Yeah, they're spending a lot of time and money on this project, and they can't figure out what a fucking map does.
Of course.
So I guess what I'm trying to say here is, if you're invested in Earth 2, congratulations, you're the sucker. And now it becomes incumbent upon you to find other suckers so you don't feel so bad and maybe can make some money off of them, like Earth 2 is making off of you. But that's just my opinion.
Of course. Now, our next news story comes from Shane Isaacs. Oh, wait a minute. What? What? Do we hear a squirrel?
Do we hear a squirrel? Because you're actually buying a smaller chunk. If you buy up in the north, in some of these places like Greenland or Alaska, northern Canada, etc., you're actually buying a smaller piece of land than you would be in Brazil by a vast margin.
Oh, and something else that I just remembered, you're paying a different price on each tile or each part of the grid. How are they coming up with the prices for each individual grid?
It starts at $10 and then they adjust it based on what they think the demand should be.
No, they start at 10 cents. And then they adjust.
They adjust it based on on whatever percentage it is that they're saying you got a thing there,
yeah. Which can lead to the possibility of manipulation too.
You got somebody who's really already been known to happen. It's been happening.
Yeah, let's say we have a friend of ours. Let's say, I don't know. I'll just come up with a vague name, a Canadian, Opal Dragon. Let's just say he comes into a lot of money and decides he wants to really get into Earth 2. And he infuses it with a lot of money, buys up a lot of property, naturally, based upon the market and all of that. It's going to cause the cost to buy other pieces of property in that same general area. It's going to cause it to go up. And if he turns around, if our friend completely made up Opal Dragon decides, you know what, I'm going to get out, that's going to affect the price as well. So it's always going to be in flux, and there's no real, at least where I'm getting it, there's no real solid logic behind it. It's what the developers think it should be worth, not what it is.
Actually, the research team over at Callum Upton's YouTube channel recently discovered that the price can only go in one direction.
Yep.
Up.
Which
never down.
Which means that they not only don't know how to use maps, but they have completely they're screwing up with even basic economics 101.
No, this isn't even economics 101. This is middle school economics.
Well, on the one side though, we can easily figure out how much Shane Isaac actually made on new tile sales. As a matter of fact, Mr. Umbra over at the Callum Upton Discord channel recently came up with a nice little formula that exposed them on how much money they made on purely new tile sales. Can anyone tell me what the number is?
Somewhere between 80 and 120 million dollars.
A little lower than that.
Really?
Yeah. It is. The number is actually $65 million.
Ooh.
That's just purely on new tile sales. That doesn't account for anybody coming in, paying Shane for the right to use Earth dollars, and buying somebody else's property. So, yeah, the greater fool theory most certainly applies to Shane Isaac and Earth 2. Now, onward to our next story. Shane Isaac recently made a tweet saying this. Wow, those are really nice to read through and very refreshing. I know people call me crazy. We recently discovered that at least one of the anti-Earth 2 YouTubers was paid specifically to try and destroy Earth 2. It's a bittersweet thing to discover.
Where's my check? I want it. Sanji?
Mr. Erickson, a question in the back here. Do you realize you're doing that all by yourself?
Well, actually, I actually asked one of the Earth 2 supporters by the name of Mr. Lawrence. I'm going to call him that. I'm going to call him that for the brief, I don't know, 5 minutes that we're going to talk about him. And I asked him point blank, which scamtuber has he actually bought? Actually thinks he actually was bought and paid for. He named 2 YouTubers. One of them is a much larger channel than I am. So that should give you a hint. He actually thinks that Upper Echelon was paid to bash Earth 2 for starters. And second, he blamed me for taking the bribe. Where's my check, Shane Isaac?
I'm not getting paid for that shit.
Hell, even if I was, I'd be doing this for free.
Yeah. Now, he linked a name in this conversation by the name of Ben. I'll just put it on the screen here. Ben Gonzini. He is a Jewish man, evidently, going by his name. And we discovered that he invested a lot of money into Earth 2. To the tune of $200,000.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Well, he originally bought up all these properties to link his token, which is Omai, Ekomai, to Earth 2. And when Shane rightfully told him to fuck off, he got pissed.
I wonder why.
Now, this name being brought up really encapsulates what Earth 2 is all about. It's basically snakes eating their own. And how Mr. Lawrence had the sheer audacity to blame me for taking a bribe.
What was audacity? This
Yeah.
whole thing is an atrocity.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
Right. Now, Shane thinking that a scamtuber would take money to critique something is a little bit out of line, shall we say. Mainly because He has no evidence of it. And even if Shane did name a name, he could be facing a lawsuit for just even remotely suggesting it. Now,
So without significant evidence, I don't know that he would be in that position.
I
now,
believe
He would
precedent
have
on
to
this
know who,
is
why, and how much.
I believe the precedent on this can be found in the case of fuck around versus find out.
Well, fuck around and find out's going to be a thing.
Yes, 'tis.
now, how Shane really thought that a scam tuber was paid to critique his project. What?
Well, here's something that's come up in the political sphere over the past few years. It's that whenever somebody accuses you of something, they're usually doing it themselves. It's
yes.
Confessions for protection. They accuse you
they're-
of the thing they're doing, and then when you call them on it, they say "fuck you."
Yeah, or they turn around and accuse you of doing the very thing that they're doing. But there's also they also just out of the off chance that just as something else, maybe they're jealous of the grift.
Oh yes, obviously.
Because yes, that is some serious. There are some serious grifts going on there.
Exactly, and snakes eating themselves or eating each other. Yeah, it's about as apt as you can get. The only way you can maybe make it better would be if those snakes were crossbred with say sharks.
Ooh.
Ouroboros is an Ouroboros. All the Ouroboros.
And if you do that, if you crossbreed a snake with a shark, you also have yourself at least a 2 or 3 picture deal with sci-fi.
I think it's. I think the minimum number is. I think the minimum number is like 10. Because I know they're not done with the Sharknado thing yet.
Yeah. Now, before we leave you, we have one last little thing to discuss. Mr. Zen Property had this to say on their Earth 2 official Discord this morning before somebody nuked the entire conversation.
Uh-oh. Convo nuking? Convo nuking.
Now, Zen Property said, valid criticism is one thing, false statements are another. Does Earth 2 yield land, does Tier 2 yield land yield jewels and essence and soon resources, all of which already have value or will have value? Objection, argumentative. If the answer is yes, your statement is false. You might as well have said they were just buying JPEGs.
Because
The commentary has absolutely no effect on my bag, because I bought land to do something with it, to bring my studio online and offer classes, trainings, workshops, and retreats in a 3D environment through VR and AR functionality. Again, argumentative. Should early adopters get no benefits? However, it is still possible to buy Tier 1 land with Essence remaining in the marketplace for large discounts and sometimes even close to the original price and still have the same benefits as early adopters. So many people are limited in their scope and can't see past flipping tiles or Essence valuations. Understand that for 2 years, early adopters have to... Here's the part where I want to really get at. Understand that for 2 years, early adopters have had to put up with constant abuse from YouTube-inspired hate, false allegations, and distortions of simple things like terms and conditions, wire transfers, Ponzi, and BitConnect comparisons, parroted by trolls who would join the community just to post scam on every thread. Literally trying to poison the sentiment in the community. I wouldn't say it's hard for us to handle criticism. You don't. We become experts at it. You're not. Lots of people think they know how Earth 2 should have done it better, from the order of how they should have rolled out releases to launching Essence to never experiencing delays, or how they would never have issues or vulnerabilities, as if they were releasing a metaverse project in incremental stages. Yet I don't see a single one of them, meaning us, launching their own project quicker with no delays, issues, or vulnerabilities. Why not? Because it's easier to be an armchair critic than to do it yourself.
Yeah, about that. First of all, I can refer back to everything I've said before, but I'm also going to say one more thing regarding this. Yeah, there's already somebody else who has done just that. They're called Parker Brothers. It's a game called Risk.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a reason why we do not say we are game developers. We are just simply people with microphones having a voice and having a conversation. Now, what this person's problem is in particular is, well, you have to be a game developer to develop games. It's that same old argument all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a problem. There is being a game developer. Yes, Big Fry is developing a video game right now. And I want to buy that because it's a good product. Now,
It might be a good product.
Well, knowing what Big Fry is doing, is he's putting his money where his mouth is.
Well, sure. That is a thing that is worthy of respect.
Now, creating a metaverse project, especially within our lifetime, is an impossible task.
Well, we don't actually have the tech for it right now.
Yes, mainly because we do not have the tech for it. By remotely suggesting that anybody out of the box can develop their own metaverse project is foolish. It's foolish because he doesn't understand A, what Shane is doing already. He doesn't understand the scope. And B, he doesn't understand the scope of what a project like that entails. I mean, the closest that I can qualify being a metaverse, Neos VR, is under the microscope themselves for shady shit. That is not to mention all the inappropriate activities I've heard about the project. Now, with that aside, we offered Shane's own words against him. What Shane has done, essentially, is try to outdate the outrage. Now, do you see where the problem is?
Where do you want me to start?
Oh, let's start at the beginning. because that's going to be. And Opal is giving us a drive-by thumbs up. Yay!
All right.
Woohoo!
By the way,
Drive-by
Opal, we
thumbs.
were not talking about you earlier.
All right. Now, let's start at the beginning and work our way down.
Begin at the beginning, and when you get to the end, stop.
Yep. Because we basically proven that his whole point. Yes, we're armchair critics at the end of the day, but on the other side of the token, we know our limitations. I can develop a video game. Sure, fair enough.
I have done.
Squirrel has
original novels, but I've developed video games. I know what I got to do.
yes, but developing a metaverse we know is out of our scope.
Well, it's out of his scope.
Well, yeah. And Mr. Pulse Lord is saying I'm not getting your notifications.
Ah.
Now, I let me take on the argument that if you're not a developer, you can't make a coaching argument against Earth 2. Let me point out that there are lots of game devs out there. Not every one of them is smart. Not every one of them is good or talented. And a lot of times, they're just regular people like us who just have a passion. So to dismiss our opinion because we're not game devs is to elevate somebody like a Brianna Wu or even a Zoe Quinn and denying people who really kind of have an idea of what it takes to put together a game, or at least has an idea of how to make a game entertaining or fun. And but here's the thing too, you don't even need to be a dev. You could be somebody just an idiot off the street like yours truly, and just know enough to say, wait a minute, this doesn't quite make sense. I have another point, but I can hold off on that if anybody else wants to jump in. All right, hearing none.
Go right ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, Sanji, you mentioned something a little earlier about flipping of properties. Well, it just so happens that I used to be in the mortgage industry a long, long time ago. And I have at least an understanding of flipping properties. To say that a tile in Earth 2, the price is only going to go down. I already said it defies basic economics, but when you're dealing with people who want to go in and flip things, even for virtual money, that is going to have an impact on the cost of a property, whether it be virtual or actual. So the fact that they haven't even considered that possibility tells me that they could come up with the best looking game in the world, but it's going to run like Depression Quest.
Oh yes, obviously. Or it may make the slaughtering grounds, using Opal's chat here, a absolute Mona Lisa.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
actually, funnily enough, the Mona Lisa isn't actually all that good as art goes. It's just nobody's got quite figured out what she's smiling about. So,
yeah.
Yeah, if you know, please write into the show, and we'll read your email on the air.
People want to know who she is, although there are several suspects, and what she's giggling about.
Well, she could be giggling over the fact how how clownish Earth 2 is acting right about now.
Or maybe it's a little, or maybe this is a little known fact. Leonardo da Vinci, well known for his knock knock jokes.
Oh. Well, anyway, I apologize for the rage, so I'll probably shut up for the rest of the stream.
Actually, we probably should wrap it out. Your
Yeah.
preference is for an hour, and we are very close to that.
Well, do we have any final thoughts from our committee today?
Well, I can't really put into words anything else any better than what I've already said. So, so if you want to just do a TLDR, it's very simple. Earth 2, bad. Investment, bad. Beer, good.
And Sanji is going to. Oh no, Sanji. Well, anyway, I have been Sanji Himura. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and we will see you in March for a brand new double. I don't know if we should shoot. I don't know if we should attempt a double length episode in March. I'm just going to give it some thought. On the plus side, if you have any news stories, feel free to drop them in the comments, or send them our way on the Discord. We have a publicly available Discord for you all to enjoy here today. So, with that out of the way, I have been Sanji Imura. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and we will see you soon.
folks. This is Morgan Freeman. This concludes our broadcast day. I'm Morgan Freeman. Good night.